Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Michael and thank you for joining me for another net worth update, this time coming pretty much right at the end of September and moving into October. I typically try to post my net worth videos at the end of the month, but this time it's coming kind of towards the beginning of October. Hey, I had a wedding anniversary, so sorry, not sorry. This video is going to be posted a little bit late. I recently posted a poll on my community page asking you guys if you like to take inventory of your net worth. I know for me, I like to do so about once a month because it gives me the time to ask myself about two different questions. Number one, was I able to increase my assets this past month? And also, was I able to decrease my liabilities or decrease my spending? So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at this month's net worth update. I like to use Google Sheets to track my progress, and I try to adjust some viewing angles to make things a little bit better for you guys. So let me know down in the comments if I was able to successfully make the image you see on screen a little bit easier to view and less squashed and having too much on the screen at once. Now, just to give you guys a little bit of a heads up, I did go ahead and try to find out the numbers for each of these categories that are displayed on screen for my assets and liabilities. And this is the first month, I think, that my assets, as you guys will see in just a second, have actually gone down, which is sort of surprising for me because it's never happened before. So stay tuned for that. Let's dive right in to the first one, the first area we're actually going to see, sadly, a decrease, which is my 401k with my employer. I was actually totally caught off guard that this happened. As you guys can see in August, I was at $10,865, the value of that account. And since then, there's been like 3 paychecks. So you would think it's gone up, you know, if nothing has happened. But I checked it today, and it's currently sitting at $10,438.28. So you guys can see that's a change of right around $400 down, which usually doesn't happen. If I were to pull open all of my, I know you guys can't see me gesturing with my hand. If I were to pull open all of the months here for my net worth of the 401k, they have always gone up. And this is the first time it's gone down, which is a little sad, but that's, I guess, to be expected. So next up, we have my house, which, surprise, surprise, this one actually hasn't changed. So I'm okay with that. We'll keep it at what it's at, which is $171,300. Update on the house. This has nothing to do with my net worth, but I did find out that my mortgage this year actually went down, which I did not think that was going to happen. I hope it's not a fluke, but I just checked the billing cycle and it's gone down by, I think, like $20, which isn't huge, but cool. Next is the car, which my vehicle also, that one hasn't really changed. Oh, that's not correct. That has not changed, but you know, it's to be expected that eventually, if I were to check it again on like a Kelley Blue Book, it's probably going to go down once again because that's what vehicles do. All right, next up we have savings and cash. I know I've explained this 1,000 times on here, so I don't mean to sound like a broken record. So I say this for the sake of new viewers or people maybe who haven't watched my channel in a while. So what I'm doing, just briefly, is I'm taking $3,000 every month and setting it aside for my student loans, my government loans, once they become due again, putting it into a high yield savings account. I'm not actively paying on that. Because I'm doing that, I'm not going to be subtracting it from my liabilities column, so I put it right into the savings and cash column. So this category, the savings and cash, continues to climb. And this month, let me pull open the number here. This month, this is actually, I think, the only area on here where the numbers have gone up, which is crazy. It's just a crazy month, I guess. This month, my savings and cash is now total at $26,685, and that's it. It doesn't calculate cents. So nice growth from last month, which that actually makes sense. If you guys have been tracking along with me, each month I put aside around $3,000, well, not around, right around $3,000 towards my government student loans and putting them into a high yield savings account. So it makes sense that my savings and cash has grown by $3,000 because I've saved that much amount of money. Next up, we have the Roth IRA. And this is another area on the asset column where unfortunately this month we have seen a decline. So my Roth IRA at the time of last checking it is now at $1,548.17. About a loss of a little over $50, $60. Not too bad. But once again, it's not really a loss because it's not a realized loss. It's just because the market fluctuations happen. But yeah, I was actually really surprised to see that because that is taking into account the $100 last month that I did contribute towards my Roth IRA. But oh well, that's what happens when you invest. Some months are good, some months are down. Not bad, but they're just down. My taxable stocks, this one I hope I wrote correctly. In fact, I'm going to double check right now. So I don't often check my regular taxable brokerage account because that's not what I'm doing right now. I would someday like to start contributing towards that again, but right now I'm just sticking to my 401k and my Roth IRA. So my regular taxable brokerage account, it's down to $1,753.41, which for me is like, whoa, that's a huge change compared to everything else I've seen. For some people, that's nothing because that's like what they will see changed in an hour because it's based on how much you actually have invested, and that amount can change day by day, and it does change day by day. But that's the biggest change I've ever seen hit my my positions. So I never look at it, and I'm just looking at my positions right now, and everything's not just in the red. I haven't purchased anything on this account for like over a year, maybe a year and a half now, and everything is way below the price that I paid for it. Wow. I invest for the long haul, not for the short-term game. All right, so let's now calculate my total value for my assets. Now that we have all these categories, we can find out this number. We just got to put in a little sum finder. Make a little noise to make sure it works. Yes, it does. So right now, my total value for my assets is $225,398.86. Not bad. Still a growth from last month because pretty much I've saved $3,000 in my savings and cash because of the government student loans. So I'll take it. So even though some of the main contributing factors like my 401k and Roth IRA did go down this month, because of savings and cash, we are still in the positive and still moving upward up that staircase in the positive direction towards increasing my net worth. Now we're going to move on to liabilities. This is the kind of negative side of tracking your net worth. These are things that I owe to other people, my debts, and thankfully, I only have 2 outstanding kind of bad debts. In fact, I really don't have any other debts. I pay off my credit card each month, so I don't have any debt with that. So the 2 things that you guys can see that I have left over are my government loan and my mortgage. And Sally Mae is 0, car loan 0. I tried to take those out at one point, but it actually totally messed up the entire chart. And someone pointed out to me, it's nice to see the headstones of past debts that I paid off because it shows the progress I've made over this financial journey to becoming not only debt-free, but financially independent and having a high net worth. So I'm going to keep them in there. That's a good idea. So government loan is still the same as it has been, $71,407.15. Come December 31st, 2022, moving into the new year, when supposedly these loans are supposed to become due again, we will see what happens at that point, because if I do have to take that big sum of money that I've been saving and contribute it towards that, then I will start deducting from the government student loans should that happen. That is the current plan in place with my current setup. Moving on from that to my mortgage. Nothing too surprising here because mortgage, I make such little dents towards this each month because so much of the payment goes towards interest. And I think the other one is escrow. But yeah, mortgage this month, $132,000, $132,000, $282.96. Nice. Okay, so this is actually the first month in quite a few months where I have been able to see, I guess, a sizable chunk be taken out of the mortgage amount. Because you guys can see from July to August, there was like $100 change. But here there was actually like, what, almost a $300 change? Which, okay, this is normal for the first few years. Actually, for the first several years of paying off your mortgage, most of the payment goes towards interest because the bank's got to get their money for lending you out $145,000 towards a house. So they want to get their money up front and not have you not pay it to them. So let's now take a look at the total debt, my total amount of liabilities I have September of 2022. Let's put a formula in here to auto add all this up. And you guys can see not much change, but that's because normally there isn't much change. Nothing really changes in the liability columns yet. Right now, total amount of $203,690.11 this month, September of 2022. What I'm going to do now, I haven't really figured out a good way to show you guys this. So what we're going to do today is we're going to figure out what my net worth is, which is by taking my assets and subtracting from that my liabilities, as most of you already know. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's put a formula in here. So once again, we like that sum formula. We're going to take this number and subtract from it this number, and we get a total amount of $21,708.75. This right here, this number is my current net worth at the end of September 2022. And we can just take this, and this is going to show us the change since last month. Not a huge change. You guys can see it's relatively on the smaller side, a change of $2,678.24. That's primarily because of the lack of improvement with my investment accounts. But some things you can't control. You can't control the market, and with what I'm contributing right now, we're not going to see massive change with that. This is right here a total positive change of $77,708.75 since the inception of me creating videos like this and tracking my net worth. So it's going to be a long journey towards that $1 million net worth mark, especially with the kind of current state that I'm in where I'm trying to actively, I guess, save or pay off my student loans. As many of you know who are farther along in this net worth journey than I am, one of the best ways to speed up the process of increasing your net worth is by gathering more assets and investing. And right now, I can't make those a complete priority for myself. I have to maintain the other end of the spectrum, which is liabilities, and saving up for when those student loans become due again, because in my eyes, that's the most prudent and wise thing to do with the time that I have before the loans become due again. I appreciate you guys for sticking around to the very end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next update. Take care.